Okay, so we've learned how to graph an inequality. So now we're going to learn how to solve a system of inequalities. So first we're going to go ahead and graph this line right here. Y is less than or equal to 2x plus 3. So I begin at positive 3 and I move up to and over 1. Is this a dotted line or a solid line?
Solid.
Good. So I'm going to graph a solid line. Now I'm going to shade if it's greater than or less than. Is it greater than or less than?
Less than.
Less than. So let's shade this side of my graph. Okay, so this equation down here needs to be put into slope-intercept form. So in order to do that, I would need to divide everything by 2. And I get y is greater than 1/2 x minus 1. So now I have to begin at -1. And I'm going to go up 1 and over 2 in the positive direction. This time I need to graph a line that is dashed or dotted. Am I going to shade above or below this line? Above. It's greater than. So I'm going to shade everything above my green line. I'm going to. It would be better if you did it in 2 colors. For the test, I'll have markers for you. All right. So let's find our intersection. Is this a solution for both graphs? Is this a solution for both graphs? Just where I have the same colors.
Yeah, I can see the green.
Why? You just look for where is there green and blue. And that's where our solution is. Okay, moving on. Now we're going to graph this one. I think before I start either one of them, I'm going to go ahead and change both of these equations. So I have x plus 2y is less than 5. So in order to solve for y, I'm going to subtract x from both sides, and I get 2y is less than -x plus 5. I still need to isolate y. So I divide everything by 2, and y is less than -1/2 plus 5/2. Let's go ahead and graph that before we move on. 5/2 does not mean 5 up and over 2. 5/2 means up 2.5 on the y-axis. So I go up 2.5, and then my slope, oops, I forgot my x right here. My slope is up 1 and 2 in the negative direction. So I'm going to go up 1 and over 2 in the negative direction. Then I'm going to graph my line. Is it solid or dotted? Dotted. Am I going to graph above or below this line? Below. This is a less than sign, so I need to graph shade below. Let's do the other one. 3x minus y is greater than or equal to 4. First I get my x on the other side, and I'm left with -y is greater than or equal to -3x plus 4. The only thing left for me to do is I don't normally graph things with a -y. So I need to change the sign of every term. But as I change the sign, I'm switching it from a negative to a positive, or the opposite sign. So I also need to take the opposite of the inequality when I do that. Is everything opposite now? Yes. So now I can graph. I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4 on my y-axis, and I'm going to graph up 3 over 1. Draw my line. Is it dotted or is it solid? Should be solid. Oops, needs to be green. So, am I going to shade above that line or below that line? Below. This one's the one that's kind of hard for some students. If I'm standing here, am I going to step up or step down? Down. Okay. Now I just have to shade where the two colors mix. See, Randy, how this is just green?
I'm confused.
And this is just blue?
I'm trying to catch up here.
Okay.
Just me copying and not learning it.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
Okay. I can respect that. So now I have it on video, so now we can stop it and rewind it. Right? Okay. Any other questions? I've got one more for you to reference, okay? You only color where they both meet, where it's both colors.
Why?
Because that's where both of the graphs intersect. That's the solution.
Why?
Okay, can we come back to that? Okay. All right, so now I have to do these. Y is greater than -2. Okay, there is no slope here. So is this a zero slope or an undefined slope? Zero slope, because we're talking about y. We need to go down on the y-axis, -2. I draw a line. Is it going to be solid or dotted? Dotted. Okay, and am I going to shade above or below that line? Above. Next one, x is less than 3. Okay, do I go on the x-axis or the y-axis? X, and I go over 3. And I draw a line. Is this going to be a zero slope or an undefined slope? Undefined. Solid or dotted? Dotted. Am I going to shade positive of this line or negative of this line? Negative of this line. So everything on this side. That's absolutely not true, and I'll show you why. Okay, so my last one is this last equation here, and I have x minus y is greater than or equal to -1. When I subtract x from both sides, I got -y is greater than or equal to -x minus 1. I need to switch the sign and switch the inequality. So I go up 1, then up 1 over 1. Is this going to be solid or dotted? Hold on, I didn't say pack up, guys. Give 1 second. Where am I going to shade, above or below? Below. And here is your intersection, right here. This triangle. Okay, good job, guys.